What's good, y'all? Welcome back to Conversation Piece, your place to discover the untold stories of Indianapolis through the perspectives of all of its incredible people. My name is Patrick Armstrong. I am your host, and this is The Open Door, our monthly series where we literally open the door to the studio and sit down with members of the community to talk about whatever is on their hearts. If you're interested in participating or just want to learn more, head to conversationpiecepod.com and click on the open door up at the top. And shout out to Life in Indy and the team over there for sponsoring this series. Now, without further ado, we're going to get right into it. My guest today is Michael Zarick. Michael, thank you for joining me.
Hey, thank you so much for having me, Patrick.
Absolutely. Fellow podcaster here, so you're going to get one really great podcast conversation with people who know how to talk into mics. So if people don't know you, Michael, do you mind sharing just a little bit more about yourself?
Yes. Hello. I am just another unemployed white guy with a podcast.
Great. The best guest.
Yeah, I really don't know what to say other than that. I was unemployed or I was laid off in January, and then I decided to start a podcast. I'm not, that's what I do.
I like it.
Yeah.
I'm going to fill in just a little bit because we've recently connected, and all I'm going to say is because I got this compliment earlier today, and I need to pass it through. You are somebody who is literally out in the community connecting with people and doing the thing. Like your podcast, Third Space Indy, your episodes are literally like just outside on the street and people are sitting down and you're having like important conversations about what's happening in the city. And for somebody who did not know who you were prior, like to see somebody take the initiative to like go outside and like actually immerse themselves in the community, I think is a super important thing. And we talk about that here. Stretch talks about that on Follow D Money. Like those are the things that like show through in the stuff that you do. Mm-hmm. So while you might be an unemployed white guy with a podcast, like you are outside doing the thing and you're not just like sitting in your basement by yourself recording.
There's a word that's been like lingering on my head for months now. It's the word serendipity.
Okay.
And I have experienced so much of that word through my podcast. This is not what I thought I was going to talk about, but I am bringing it up.
Let's go.
Because of just like putting myself out there. I moved to Indianapolis in October, so I've been here for 9 months.
Right.
And just putting myself out there, meeting the people that I am interested in meeting, I have experienced just a constant series of just the most choice happenings. Like we talked about this when we met last week. I have gotten reconnected with, I'm half Lebanese. I've gotten reconnected with that half of myself just like through the podcast. I have just random, like the other day, I ride the bus everywhere. I post about it every day. Ride the bus.
To ride it every day of the week. I think he was going for this week.
I got to figure out what I'm doing tomorrow. Then I have an excuse. But just, through riding the bus yesterday, I believe it was yesterday, I met this group of kids who was with, the name of the organization is disappearing from my head, but I met this group of kids who were they were doing bus camp and they were just out there. It's Earth Charter, Indiana. Just randomly stumbled in them. I got on the same bus as them and I struck up a conversation with the guy who was leading the group and just like the immediate connection there. And then also on the bus was the guy who, the lead editor of the DNR's quarterly magazine.
Oh, interesting.
So I just constant series of just like choice happenings. Yeah. Serendipity is what I've experienced.
Do you remember the first moment of serendipity that you had here?
Gosh.
Because it sounds like a pattern.
Yeah.
It sounds like a series of things happening.
I just remember it's all podcast related, which is so funny. So before I started the podcast, I went to the Warfleet neighborhood meeting. That's where I live. And prior to that meeting, my wife and I would go on walks throughout Broad Ripple. And this is a story I've told on the podcast probably a ton of times, but there was these beautiful murals on walls. And they were done by Megan Jefferson. I know now, but at the time I said, I really want to know who did these because I am noticing that they're is a continual art style throughout all of Broad Ripple. And there were like these beautiful flowers and bees and just things. And I said, I want to meet that person. And so I went to that Wharfley neighborhood meeting, and her name is Rachel Dickerson, I believe. She is, it's something Northside Indy is what she does. And she got up there and spoke, and she brought up some Northside artists who were like into murals. And so I reached out to her and just asked for a meeting. And I was like, hey, you brought up like an artist at the Wharfley meeting. Who was that? And she goes, oh, it's Megan Jefferson. And I was like, who? So I looked her up and I was like, oh my God, this is the person I've been looking for. And immediately, like a week later, 2 weeks later, emailed Megan Jefferson, included my phone number in the email. And she called me.
Nice.
Or texted me, either way. 30 minutes later, said, because I emailed her saying, hey, I'm thinking about doing a podcast.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was going to say, was this like, were you already thinking about the podcast, or this whole serendipity
I reached out to her
idea?
with the intention of starting the Third Space Indy podcast, although I didn't have the name at the time. And 30 minutes later, she texted me and said, hey, what are you doing this afternoon? I would love to record with you. So I had to get my shit together. Am I allowed to curse?
Yeah.
And like 3 hours later, we were meeting at a library recording the first episode. Like, she forced my hand hard.
Sure.
And that kickstarted everything. Just like this natural curiosity about the space around me.
Yeah.
Sent it.
Coming out of that conversation with Megan, what was it that you were like, okay, I need to find, what did you need to go seek next? Like, what did Megan like open the door to for you when it came to like stories in Indy or whatever it was that you wanted to pursue?
Oh my God, that's such a hard question. All I knew is that the way that I connected with her in that moment is through her art. And that is a constant through line that I've seen in Indianapolis, with Megan, but also with Gang, with, is it Big Car?
Yep.
Thank you. Just all of these massive, the Harrison Center, the Indianapolis Arts Center, just like the organizations here that are interested. Oh, hey, where we are.
Yeah, at the Studs.
At the Studs.
Yeah, with Pattern.
Now I thought about it. Just the organizations here and the institutions that are interested in supporting the arts, as difficult as it is to support the arts, because frankly, there needs to be more support.
For sure.
Just that got me really interested. And I think that is what really kickstarted my love for Indianapolis.
Yeah.
I really love it here. I don't know why, because I've been unemployed for more than half of my tenure.
Sure.
So I should be in the depths of despair, but I am riding high.
Yeah, but you're doing work. So even
Absolutely.
it might not be paid work at the moment.
Yeah.
I don't know the
actually,
inner workings of this show that you got going on.
That is one thing I wanted to bring up. Shout out to unemployed people, by the way, because just because you're unemployed does not mean you are not working.
For sure.
I'm like thinking, I feel like as someone who has been on the grind, I should not have had to start a whole ass podcast to feel like I'm effectively networking to find a job. Not the hard pivot in any kind of way.
No, but yeah, I mean, that's a good point to bring up. Like, cause that's kind of why I started my podcast.
Yeah.
Like or made the pivot to be about Indianapolis in particular. It was because I was like, I need to connect with the city and like learn more about the city. And like, instead of being like, I'm going to go to events and do stuff, I'm like, I'm just going to make the podcast about that. And I'm going to invite people on and do it that way. And I'm like, maybe that's not
Do we have the same origin story?
The strongest way to go about it. The strongest first foot in, and it has allowed me to some access to folks that I probably wouldn't have just maybe showing up at random places. And that also, I think we talked about this in the Pod Lab a little bit. From my vantage point, is a advantage for Indianapolis when it comes to doing shows like this or comes to creating is accessibility is a lot closer or more accessible, not to continue to use the word, for folks that might feel inaccessible in other places. And I feel like you've been doing that too. When we were talking, when we met the other day, you were telling me about who else you were reaching out to
The
and
other
who's
day,
ready to come up on the show.
This was yesterday. Yesterday I went to Coat Check Coffee. Speaking of serendipity.
Yeah.
walked in. First person I see. Do you know who Cliff Marsiglio is?
I do not.
No, I don't know. He's just like a guy that people know. I don't know. Then I saw someone I had met last week through being half Lebanese. She works for Health by Design. Speaking of, livable spaces. She walks over to me, says hello, immediately points at someone and goes, "Hey, Craig, walk over here." Craig he runs the Athenaeum. So I met Craig just purely off chance, sitting in Coach Coffee. And then Samson Levingston walks in. Classic. I've been trying to rope that man down for months. Impossible. But he walks into Coach Coffee and I said, hello. Nice. I'm so happy to see you. Just like being in space but like I would not have put myself in any of these scenarios if I was not actively thinking about networking through this activity. Yeah.
So you said 9 months ago you moved here, right? Mm-hmm. From Missouri?
No, Northwest Arkansas.
Northwest Arkansas. Dang it.
Yeah.
From Northwest Arkansas. Yeah. Cut to that. Northwest Arkansas. What was your first impression of the city, like before you got here? Like, did you have like a preconceived notion of what you were walking into when you moved?
This is my favorite question. I'm from Louisville, Kentucky.
Okay, yeah, I didn't know that.
So people from Kentucky love to hate on Indiana.
Sure.
Yeah, I'm a mad Indiana. What?
It's true. No, it is true. It is true.
And so, like, when I first met my current wife, it's my only wife. What am I saying?
Busted.
Yeah.
Busted like we started, that CEO at Coldplay concert.
Yeah, truly. When we started dating senior year at IU Bloomington, shout out. I used to just like talk shit about Indianapolis and Indiana, just ribbing. But then we went to her brother's wedding 2 years ago here, up in Fishers, something like that. And we spent like half a week here. And we went to Newfields and we went to the Children's Museum with her friend. And we really got to experience the city because she is from Brownsburg and has a interesting perspective as someone who grew up in a cornfield but went to Ben Davis in the Career Center and Brownsburg High. So we both sort of experienced the city for the first time in that moment. And since then, my view has shifted as like a lifetime hater into like this is kind of cool. And then we moved here. I was in a really, frankly, dark hole prior to moving here. It's like the election had just happened. Yeah. I just like wasn't super happy with my job. Actually getting fired was great.
But at the time, it probably didn't feel great.
Yeah.
And it was 2025. So
totally. And just a lot of stuff happened. And then just having a total life shift of moving to Indiana hit at the perfect time. And I was happy to be here and have continued to be happy to be here. And for someone who, and like you said, like I've been doing the work, but like for someone who has been unemployed, I feel like I have been riding so high on vibes for the past like 7 months. It's been amazing. I think Indiana rocks.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. And I love to be able to ride the good vibes too, because like vibes, I'm sure people will say can only take you so far, but they can open doors to connections that will maybe be sustainable beyond said vibe. Yeah, because naturally things are going to like make you jaded. Like shit goes on here. We have the worst fucking governor in the world right now. Like he is not good and he is not good for the people in the city. And the things that he is doing are not good. And it can feel like the vibes will shift in a negative way. And because when you immerse yourself in a community, when you're trying to pour yourself into a community to see it do better, and then you meet consistent and constant roadblocks, like not that you're meeting that and not to bring the vibes down, but I'm saying like, I appreciate you saying that because like you've talked about connections before you've been talking about the vibe, and like the ride of Serendipity has created and opened doors in a way that like when shit is not great, you found a network building connections where soft landings are available. And because you are connecting with people, it's like now if you find yourself in another dark hole, in which I've found myself in numerous times during my time doing the show, it's like the best realization I've ever had is that I don't have to really do this to know that things that I want to happen can still be happening because other people have been doing it. Whether they're doing it before me, whether they're doing it concurrently, or whether they come after me. Like there's always going to be somebody doing that work. So when the shit gets hard and the vibes turn sour, like the connections that you're making lift you and sustain you and then pull you back up when you need to be pulled back up.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Banger. I'm so glad you said that.
Sure. I mean, I was like, I hope I'm not making it seem like I was trying to kill your vibe on the city.
No.
I just feel like I'm probably just jaded by the
like
world
the hardest,
right now.
The hardest thing is like moving cities and having no network.
Yeah.
I am not from here. I'm from Louisville. And I lived in Arkansas for 3 years. Like building that back up has been amazing.
Yeah.
And I actually want to talk about something else on that sort of same topic of like community. We're at a time where we need like a radical investment in our city. And I mean that fiscally, I mean that physically, and I mean that emotionally. Like I feel like we need our whole we need the whole asset to like make the city what it can be. Like, cause this place is amazing. But it's not amazing at this time because of what it is. It's amazing because of who lives here.
Yep. I agree.
And I think we need to keep pushing to make the what of Indianapolis stronger using the who.
Yes. The band.
Not the band.
Who. Yeah. Okay. I couldn't agree more. I feel like we talk a lot about collaboration, moving beyond competition. Like competition is good on a basketball court, but it doesn't serve you well when you're trying to serve community, trying to serve people who really need help. And then we end up competing over how we're going to help them, and then we end up not helping them at all.
Definitely.
So it does take I think something I've been talking about, and I'm about to wrap this up, but like the idea that empathy and compassion for people is radical, and that we need to build programs and invest in those things to help the most vulnerable people is radical, is wild to me. And I also understand it because I grew up in an environment that prioritized stuff like that. Not the prioritization of helping community, but holding power over people. So to know that, I mean, we're doing this, we're trying to figure out what the landscape of podcasting is like right now. And I think one of the things that I continue to have my eyes open to is people that are doing shows and creating content that are really doing it because they want to do it, and they want to do it with the city and in conjunction with the other people doing it. And you were one of those people doing that.
Thank you.
With your platform. So I appreciate you. We're going to have much longer conversations. I think we're going to do a costumed podcast sometime soon. But until then, and for people that are out there watching and listening right now that want to tap in with you, with Third Space Indy, how do they do that? Where do they find you? All the handles, all the plugs, give it to them.
Yeah. My name is Michael Zarick. I run the Third Space Indy podcast. You can find me on Instagram at Third Space Indy. Also, just near and dear to me, every episode I write 1,000 words, 1,000-word blog at minimum. And that can be found at thirdspaceindy.com. And if you give me your email, I will send it to you with the release of the episode every Monday.
There you go. There you go. That's the newsletter. I did not know that you were writing the blog, so that is cool.
It's long as F.
Yeah, that's a lot. That's a lot of investment. That's work right there. That's thirdspaceindy.com. We're going to link that in the show notes at Third Space Indy on Instagram. Michael, thanks for coming by.
Oh,
and
can I
thanks
drop
for doing
one other thing?
Drop it.
If you are interested and you feel alone, or just like you're looking for a friend or just someone to talk to, just reach out to me. I am so interested to talk to anybody. I don't care who you are. Seriously.
I love it. Dude is very responsive on the gram. So hit him up because he is great at holding space for people. I have experienced it myself. So honestly, I don't know how to wrap this up any better than thank you. And thanks for being you and doing what you do.
Yo, it hits different when you're on this side.
It 100% hits different. You'll see it soon. I actually just saw it on Tuesday. But until then, make sure you check out Michael's work. Make sure you check out Third Space Indy. All those links in the show now. Everything Conversation Piece related, go to conversationpiecePod.com. And shout out to Life in Indy for sponsoring this series. Until next time, I've been Patrick Armstrong, and this has been The Open Door. We'll see you all soon.